Hey everybody, this is the Pixel XL, and I'm kind of overdue with a review for you guys about this because I've had it for a couple of weeks. I've had it since before the embargo lifted. Google sent me a device to review. I ended up reviewing it on chipchick.com. Go to chipchick.com and search for Pixel XL review to read my review and get my thoughts. But I wanted to review this for the video because you guys come here for live videos. And I've got a bit of time today before the sun disappears. It's coming from this direction. I'm in Portland, Oregon at my place here. And so I wanted to, I'm going to wipe the dust off the screen. There we go. I wanted to give you a little Pixel XL review action. I don't have the regular Pixel. I only have the XL. So, and it's a white one. You know I love white phones. So yeah, let me walk you through. You've read a lot about this. Let's get started and say about one thing first before I pick this up and show it to you. I love this phone. It's going to be my next phone. I need to migrate my stuff from a Nexus 6P to this. You know I'm a long-time Nexus user. My Nexuses are my main phones every year since the original, and this is no exception. And I can't fault this phone for really anything. It's brilliant. It's up there with the Galaxy S7 to me as the best phone of 2016. Of course, on the Android world, and the iPhone 7 Plus is a pretty compelling phone on the iOS universe. But I can't, even the iOS 10 is pretty good now, but I still can't use that as my daily driver. So I don't feel it's quite up to par. But this thing, holy crap balls. Okay, let's get started. In the front, you have a 5.5-inch display. On the Pixel XL. On the regular Pixel, it's a 5-inch display. This is a Quad HD display. That means we've got enough, pixels here to drive a VR experience really properly with a headset. It's, a whole, what is it, 1440 by 2560 pixels, right? Okay, so beautiful display. It's an OLED display, and let me tell you, this display is unbelievable. Again, it's hard to judge the viewing angles because there's a lot of glare coming from the window right now, but holy crap. I mean, look at those viewing angles. Look at those colors. Look at everything. Great, beautiful phone. So the display is beautiful. One thing I don't like as much about the front here is how much bezel there is. It's still more compact in hand than a iPhone 6 Plus, 6S Plus, or 7 Plus. But it still has a lot more bezel than, say, a Galaxy S7 Edge, which has the same size screen. It also has more bezel, of course, than the Mi Mix, which everybody was blown away by. I don't have a Mi Mix, otherwise, trust me, you'd have a video by now. I cannot wait to get my hands on the Mi Mix. Anyway, so lots of bezel, especially since there's nothing in the bottom here. As you can see, the buttons are on screen. On top here you have an 8 megapixel camera. It's a really good one. It's wide angle, so it's making selfie life very easy. F over 2.4, 8 megapixel. I can't fault this camera. It's taking great selfies of me. Speaker, this is a proximity sensor. It kind of looks a little weird, honestly. I wish they would integrate proximity sensors better. Again, the Mi Mix uses an ultrasonic proximity sensor behind the glass. I think we're going to start seeing that more and more on flagship phones. Nothing down here. So you're going to say, what is all this space used up for? Well, I'll get to that in a second. There's some good stuff under here. Okay, so now you've seen the front a lot. Let me give you the back, because the back is really fascinating. Boom, here's the back. First thing you notice is all unibody aluminum, and it's very much the same shape as an iPhone. So if I can fold this phone in another way other than the bezel, the large amounts of bezel, it looks like an iPhone from the front without a home button. And from the back and the sides, a little more different because, well, it does have this glass area up here, and this is all unibody metal. The edges also, as you can see, are not fully round. It's round here and then flat, right? So flat and then round, flat and then round. The iPhone's completely round. And this phone is made by HTC for Google, and you can feel that. It feels masterful in hand. It's amazing how good this phone feels. Lots of attention to detail and the quality of the build and the fit and finish. This is a really beautiful phone. No doubt about it. It's definitely worth its price in terms of build quality and materials, okay? So, more tweets, people tweeting at me. Look at that. Notifications from Facebook. But I was going to get somewhere with this. Yes, so the antenna band down here looks very iPhone-like, but it's not, because remember, one of the things to keep in mind is that HTC really invented the antenna band integrated in a unibody phone with the M7, the HTC One, right? So this is kind of returned to form for them. What's interesting though is that there's 3 bands, one here, and one here, that are very much like last time we saw a phone with 3 bands like that was the iPhone 4, the first generation GSM iPhone 4. So very interesting that despite having this big glass area under which you could have antennas, they have 3 more bands on the sides here. Dual color, dual LED flash, 12 megapixel camera with large 1.55 micron pixels. And I can't remember, I think this is an f-stop of 2.0. Basically, the specs on paper look exactly the same as the camera on the Nexus 6P and 5X last year. You've got laser autofocus there and a secondary microphone next to that. Then, of course, you get the fingerprint reader, which is super fast, which is, you know, whatever. I mean, not all of them are good now. And this really interesting glass. And as I said, it's pearlescent. I don't know if you can see it, but it does have a bit of a pearl kind of quality to it. Not fully white. Then you get the Google logo here. So anyway, that's just an aside. What else do you need to know about this phone? The sun is setting, so you'll see that the light is getting more yellow and yellow on this video right now as we go. Hopefully the white balance will keep up. Forget that the sun is starting to set early now, and damn, you know, I should start my live videos a little sooner in the day. So anyway, specs. Of course, it's flagship, so it's got all the specs. It's got all the things. Snapdragon 821, of course, this is a masterful device. Talking about the camera, while it's the same on paper, it does have phase autofocus, which they've added this year, but still no optical image stabilization. And to me, that's a minus, still a minus, despite the fact that this camera is absolutely brilliant. And the reason it's a minus is because I like to do manual control long exposures on purpose. And I want to be able to set the shutter speed. And I'd like to do them handheld oftentimes because I'm very steady and I like to hold it for about half a second. And I cannot do this with this phone because half a second without OIS is just impossible. So that's just a little nitpick thing, because here's the thing. Snapdragon 821 inside with that camera is incredible what you can do. First of all, it takes multiple shots. They call it smart burst, and that has been done before, right? Sony's been doing it for a long time, LG, others, Samsung. And what it does here is that first creates an animated GIF automatically. Second, lets you automatically picks your best photos for you and highlights them so you can actually like pick the best ones without having to sort through hundreds. Because get this, it takes photos at 10 frames per second in burst mode. Nobody can do that. And as again, this is Snapdragon 821 stuff. It's the fact that this chip is so fast that lets that happen. Geez, you guys are lighting up my phones right now. So what I'm getting to here in a nutshell is that the camera performs better than last year's Nexus 6P and 5X on the virtue of really one thing alone, and it's the fast processor inside. The phase detect autofocus certainly helps, and it does the autofocus pretty damn fast. So it's just fast. This phone is one of the fastest cameras you can use today that's in a phone, bar none. And we're talking like iPhone 7 levels of speed here. Galaxy S7 level of speed. I mean, the Galaxy S7 is really the only phone that can compete with this phone today. So in terms of imaging at least. In some ways, I think the S7 is a better camera because of OIS, but this is really pretty impressive what they've done. And I want to show, case in point, I want to show you some of the photos I've taken. So this is Hong Kong. I was there last week, and I don't know if you saw, but like the amount of detail coming out of a handheld shot in low light here is just mind-boggling. You can obviously see that these are 2 Tesla Model S's parked in a row, and then a Porsche Panamera, because, you know, for good measure, because it's Hong Kong. And, you know, I just did a video of the Galaxy Folder, which is the flip phone, Android flip phone that I picked up in Hong Kong. It was near here. You should check it out. Escalator, blah, 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 more Hong Kong shots, some turtles, because, you know, everybody loves turtles, some crazy Japanese art on a wall. There's some kid took a photo of because she had the same stuffed animal that I have, and I was excited about that. You know, bamboo scaffold, very common thing in Hong Kong. But look, This is a light shot, and I mean, seriously, there's no blur. You don't need OIS on this phone. That's the thing. And then here's the Hong Kong landscape. And again, if you want to see these photos, they are in my review on Chip Chick, so go check them out. More Hong Kong scape. It's just incredible, the light performance. I mean, just mind-boggling. Look at this photo. And so here's this cool thing that it does, like these, it lets you create a collage of multiple burst photos. This is a taxi going by, and I'll show you in a second. So here's a night shot with the front-facing camera and the rear camera. So this is rear, this is front, and as you can see, they're both really amazing. Let me see. So this is the thing I wanted to show you. I'm going to play the whole video. It's about 30 seconds. You can see this on my YouTube channel, so go find in the history down here. This is the video stabilization on the Pixel. The Pixel XL and Pixel have this insane gyro-controlled image stabilization for video. Check this out. Hey there, it's Miriam with Chip Chick. I'm here in Hong Kong, and I'm going to test out the video stabilization on the Pixel. I'm going down some stairs right now, so let's see how this works out. See if can stabilize. We're doing this at 4K right now, so it's a pretty high resolution. And here we are, at the bottom of the stairs. And turn around and take a look at the ICC, the tallest tower in Hong Kong, 118 floors. That's pretty tall. Hey there, it's Miriam with Chip Chick. I'm here in So, as you can see, pretty mind-blowing video stabilization performance. And yes, there are some bumps in there, but I was going downstairs purposely shaking the phone in my hand. And you'll notice scrolling can be a little weird because when it first detects that you're scrolling, it gives you a bit of jitter. Again, this is software optimization. I think it's going to improve over time. We'll see how it goes. So here's the animated GIF of the taxi cab going by from the Smart Burst, okay? And here are all the Smart Burst photos, all of them. Look at that. And I just held it down for what, half a second, 2 seconds? So here are the ones that it thinks are the best. And we can go through them. They're pretty clear. I picked the best ones. So that's what I wanted to show you because this is kind of cool. And again, here you can see, as you can see, if you tap here, it gives you a choice. Do you want to create a collage, an animation from those? So there you go. More photos from Hong Kong, more photos from Hong Kong. This one is super trippy. It's a hallway full of LED lights and just looks like you're going down like some kind of like launch silo of a spaceship. Look at the contrast ratio on this photo. The amount of detail on this photo. Just mind-boggling. Again, like this phone camera is just like boom, okay? Like it's hard for you to judge in this video, trust me, but it is pretty amazing. This is the beginning. We're going back in time here. Some photos I took in San Francisco in low light. Anyway, so we're at the beginning. I just wanted to show you that because really the camera is so amazing. And generally everything about this phone performance-wise is just over the top, right? The A21 is really what makes this phone just behave so much better. So I showed you the back, I showed you the front, I talked about the specs. 4 gigs of RAM, it comes in 32 gig or 128 gigs of storage. This is only a 32 gig unit. I guess Google really wants you to use the free storage. When you buy this phone and you connect it to Google Photos, you get free storage at full resolution on anything you upload from this phone, which is for free, forever, which is really quite amazing. There's also a bunch of functionality to transfer all of your content from another Android phone or an iPhone through the USB port, because this is USB Type-C, so you can have there's a Type-C to Type-A, female A and male C adapter in the box, so you can plug any smartphone USB-A cable into it. And there's a really cool piece of software. I was able to transfer all my stuff from my Nexus 6P, including my texts. The only thing it didn't get was my call history, which was like, seriously? How can you fail that badly? So that's, oh, the sun's setting. So that's, in a nutshell, the Nexus. The Nexus. Oh, no. The Pixel XL. So here on the left-hand side, you have the SIM slot, a nano SIM. Remember, there's no micro SD in this phone because it is not expandable. So keep that in mind. On the right hand side, you have the volume rocker and this beautiful textured, so you feel it when it's a power button when you touch it, power lock key. So the texture is a really nice touch, very, very HTC like again here. Finally, at the bottom here, and I was going to tell you about the bottom, you have what looks like two speakers, but really one speaker port here for a mono speaker that sounds really good. And let me show you how good it sounds. Let's play some tunes so you can see it for yourself. This is actually pretty good here. Let me forward a bit. And it can go very loud. And still stay pretty clear, which is cool. So of course you still don't have a lot of bass, but this sounds pretty damn good for a mono speaker. This other grill, I bet, hides the primary microphone. I can't think of anything else in there. So you got USB Type-C, of course, with on-the-go support and all that. And in case you're afraid and freaking out because people are taking out headphone jacks of phones left, right, and center, there's still a headphone jack on this phone. All right, here it is on the top. So another thing, I don't know if you can see in the video, but it tapers. It's thinner at this end here on the right than it is at this end here on the left. So 7 point something here, 8 point something here, just a millimeter difference, but it feels still amazing in hand. Because of that, there's no camera bump. The only concern I have is this glass getting scratched up, and then the lens getting some issues with that. But other than that, it's pretty solid design, pretty well done. You know, just look, if you're an Android person, just forget about everything else out there. Like, just buy this phone, really. I mean, the Galaxy S7 is probably the only other thing you should think about. And then, you know, if you want different screen sizes, start looking at the LG V20, maybe last year's Nexus 6P if you want a 5.7-inch phone. Maybe you can look at, what else is there that's exciting? You know, there's a few. There's an Honor P9, sorry, not Honor, Huawei P9, Honor 8, that are still pretty worthy in my book. The G5 is out of the question because the V20 is really the one you want. Again, go to Chip Chick and read my V20 review, by the way, and also reviewed it here on my YouTube channel. What else? I'm trying to think of other phones. I mean, that's really it, right? The Note 7's out of the picture. Note 5 from last year is still a valid contender, but that's only if you want a big phone. If you want a small phone, there's a small Pixel. It's a 5-inch phone and it does 1080p display, but everything else is exactly the same. Oh, let's speak about the battery before I go here. 3450 milliamp hour, 3450. And holy crap. Like, guys, look, this is my battery right now. Let me go into the battery settings so you can see what's going on here. 92% battery with light use since I woke up at 10 this morning. Okay? 92% of light use. Just checking my email here and there. Not even taking photos, nothing. Like, basically the phone has done very little, but it's like almost, you know, it's like what, 10 hours ago now or something. It's insane. Like, the battery life on this is really good. I mean, compared to my Nexus 6P, that's one of the big improvements. The OnePlus 3, oh, that's another phone. The OnePlus 3 is another candidate that, you know, really competes with this phone, 5.5 inches as well. But honestly, the OnePlus 3, the battery life is the thing that holds me back on that phone. I love it in every other way, though. For the money, $400, it's hard to, you know, to argue with a OnePlus 3. But this is expensive because it's meant to be expensive, because it's, you know, just basically designed to compete with the iPhone and the Galaxy S7. And really, it's in that league. So there you have it. All right, guys. Pixel XL review. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was insightful, that you got my vibe from this. I just love this phone. It's going to become my primary phone as soon as I get a case for it. Mostly because it's my daily driver and I tend to drop it from time to time. I know this. I've learned this from experience. So I'm getting one of the custom Google cases. But stay tuned for more. Sun is set now, so I'm going to be done for the day. But tomorrow I'll have something really exciting. I'm going to tease you right now about it. It's right here. And if you see this logo, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So you'd better tune in tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it before the end of the morning. the Le Eco Le Pro 3 video review. It's a Le Pro 3 with 64 gig of RAM. Be here or be square, late morning Pacific time. All right, guys, plus, minus, whatever. I hope you love this video. Subscribe to my channel. More reviews coming soon. I'm running out of light. I need to call this a day. All right, cheers. Bye.